Hey, Ardent parents, this is Josh.
And Emma.
And welcome to our home. We are here just in the Josh and Emma home.
Yes.
And Leo might be making Leo, our dog, might be making an appearance. So if he hops up, that is our dog. But we wanted to shoot a video for you guys, just talk about what's coming up. We've had a blast this summer. We've been doing these things called Ardent backyard hangouts that we've been just kind of calling those, and getting in different groups and just hanging out in people's yards, wearing masks and social distancing and like all that fun stuff.
Lots of s'mores.
Lots of s'mores. Yeah, it's been a great time. But now that we are moving into the fall, the school season, in Oregon, what typically happens is what? There's
rain.
The rain and the cold, the wind, all that fun stuff, right? And so ministry in Oregon is outdoors doesn't really work as well, so we are going to be moving indoors. And so with that, we are really excited actually. We have some really great things planned that we're going to talk to you guys about later. But our two concerns for this season is, number one, safety. We definitely want to follow the CDC guidelines, and we want to be safe, and we want to protect ourselves and your kids when they do come to Ardent. And so Emma's going to talk about a little bit more with that as well. And then our second concern is a concern that we've heard from many of you guys, and that is community. Like your teens need the social times, and they need to have that sense of belonging. They need to gather, and we miss that too, and we miss like the big epic Ardent parties and all the fun stuff. And so that is going to look different, but those are our two concerns, and I think moving forward we can definitely really have this great intentional discipleship type thing, because we're going to be getting in homes, and so indoors, but also having our small groups. And so we're going to talk about like really what that means. But again, we're excited. I actually think that this time will be probably more fruitful than any other season before, because again, like getting the big events out of the way, like get the sermon out of the way, get a couple of students and some leaders in a home, social distance with masks and everything, being safe, but really discussing God's word, like get into the Bible, and just having that, again, like intentional discipleship time. And so, do you want to talk about what it's going to look like?
Yeah, so these small groups are going to be split up, and one cool thing too is we're not just going to be doing Tuesday and Wednesday nights anymore. Each leader gets to kind of choose what day and what time they're going to be meeting. So your specific child will be invited into like their small group with their leader, and that time might be different than what you're used to. One nice thing about quarantine or coronavirus, whatever we want, this like stay at home time more, is there's not as many other opportunities for kids to be involved in. So a lot of schedules are wide open, and we are excited to fill those up with Ardent. So groups will be anytime, any day, and the leaders, that'll be communicated to you guys as parents, and you'll have to sign up. So that's one safety precaution, right? Is we want these groups to be contained groups, like pods. So you won't be switching around from group to group. You're actually going to have to sign up online for your child's small group, just to be safe, so that we get your health information in case anything went wrong, so that you know exactly when and where you're meeting. And that group, that small group, is going to be your pod that you go with every week, and that's like your core group. That's the first thing. Second, since we are going to be inside, masks are going to be required 100% of the time, unless a group has individually packaged snacks. You can obviously take your mask off to eat your snack and then put it back on. And then one more thing that it feels weird to talk about this, but I feel like there's a lot of shame, especially just with coronavirus. There's like some sort of shame stuff that goes on when maybe you're sick or a family member is sick, and maybe it's not even COVID-19, maybe it's just a cold, right? When we move inside and the weather in Oregon goes as it goes, viruses spread no matter what the virus is, coronavirus or whatever the cold virus is. Those things just spread more easily, and so we want you guys as parents to know there is no shame at all for staying home and being precautious. And actually, the CDC guidelines, if you are exhibiting any symptom of COVID-19, which is pretty similar to a cold, right? Like a fever, a cough, a sore throat. If you are presenting any symptoms of COVID-19, CDC guidelines actually ask that you stay home for 10 days after those symptoms first started and 24 hours after you have not had a fever. So that is what we are asking of all of our students and our leaders as well. Again, there is no shame. Like if you text or email us and say, hey, Johnny is not going to be there tonight, he has a fever, we are not going to go spread that to all the kids, and you're not going to be getting phone calls or anything. We're going to protect you guys and your privacy, but we also want to protect the health and safety of every student and every leader.
And the cool thing with that is they won't really be missing much, because all of our content, so our sermon, our like kind of small group discussion type stuff, is all going to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so if someone stays at home and they're sick, then you guys actually as a family could flip on our YouTube channel,
Yeah.
GC Ardent, and then you guys can actually kind of have your own small group, or they can watch it by themselves, or whatever you guys want to do. And so do you want to talk now about what Ardent's going to look like?
Yeah, so like Josh said, one of our concerns is community, and I personally am bummed that we can't do those big gatherings. I love corporate worship, and I love being all together for a sermon and then breaking for discussion. So right now we have tried to come up with our best option to still kind of create that united community feeling for all of Ardent, not just so that we have all these separate small groups doing their own thing. So what we're going to do is online interactive sermons or messages. We're really excited. We're actually going to kick off the fall introducing our new series, Influencing Culture. And right now culture is so in your face because all we can do is be at home and be on Instagram, right? So we are going to talk about how as Christians it's our job not just to engage with culture, but actually influence it, to turn it into more of the kingdom of God rather than the kingdom of the world. So that's what we're going to be kicking off this fall. So every week there will be an interactive video. We'll be giving sermons, we'll have guest speakers, and throughout the videos we'll actually pause and invite the small groups to pause the video and go over a discussion question, just to keep them engaged and still creating that community feeling. We are also going to be doing small group competitions. So I'm super excited about this. Every week or every week-ish, we'll have a new activity or a contest or a challenge. Yeah, a challenge that every group can participate in. And every time there will be points. So as the year goes, every group is going to work to get more and more points. And there's going to be some pretty epic prizes along the way and at the end of the year to see which group gets the most points.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So like, for instance, who can bring the most socks for Heart of the City?
Yeah.
So Heart of the City always wants to do like a sock drive, and so we're gonna say, whatever group can bring the most socks in for donations, and then as well as like maybe like a Halloween costume group competition. So it's gonna be really awesome, and so but we're really excited about that content, as well as we are always going to be going through one of the books of the Bible. I've been really excited about that because during the summer we've been going through the book of Mark, and it's been like great conversation really time, and just to see like what God has been teaching me and you and our leaders and our students through his word. It's been amazing. Yeah, so when we finish Mark, we'll pick another book of the Bible, and that's just going to be a rhythm in Ardent, is us pushing ourselves and our students to be in the word and discussing it. One other rhythm at Ardent, which we've always had but now feels more important than ever, is having our leaders reach out and hang out with students in more of a one-on-one or one-on-two kind of scenario. So not just in small groups or at Ardent, but actually on a separate day, on a separate time, getting together with a student and saying, hey, let's go get coffee or unlimited root beer floats at Red Robin or whatever, and just getting to know that student, because like Josh said, we are concerned, especially for kids doing school right now, how it's all on Zoom and online. Kids are gonna have some screen fatigue, and that could cause frustration or just like angst. And so it's really important to us that our leaders are there, not just as a spiritual mentor to our kids, that is important, but these students also need like an older, wiser friend who they can count on and rely on, and who can just be there for them when they had a bad day on Zoom. Yeah, I know that was super important for me. Like, there's some things you just don't want to go to your parents to. But I always had that leader that I could talk to and just discuss life with. So that's really important too for Ardent as in our ministry. Another concern is that just for you guys as parents and as families, we want to come alongside you we just want to be encouragers. We're not parents ourselves, but we have resources. I'm always looking for podcasts and just like books and just a ton of resources for families and for parents. And so we do have this awesome resource called Access that we actually just kind of got into it earlier in the summer, like May or June. And so we're going to be throwing that out to you guys. There's even some like cool 30-day experiences. That's what Access is calling it. So like on Christmas, or during the Christmas season, they have a Christmas 30-day family experience. So every day there's like something little that you as a family can go through. And so that's just like another way where we can be, Leo had the bone.
Yeah.
And so just another thing that, you as a family can be going through together, as well as just like having podcasts to listen to and some books. And so if there's anything that we can encourage you with or resource you with, just please let us know.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're even having maybe some conferences and just some stuff for you guys as parents, just personally you as parents, not as a whole family.
Yeah, and the best way for you guys to get plugged in for information and for resources, number one is our parent emails. Every week I send out an updated email with any events that are going on or opportunities that we have for you guys. And then also our Facebook, it's a group, right? Not a page.
Yeah, it's our GC Ardent Facebook
Facebook group.
Yeah.
So we would love to have you guys join that. Josh does a really great job of posting, like he said, different resources specifically geared towards parents and families. So we'd love to have you guys join that Facebook group.
See, Leo made it in.
Yeah.
You guys can see Leo with his loud bone.
This is us, our family.
This is us, yeah. So, all right, I think that is it. Please let us reach out to us if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. Like, we're always here for you guys as parents. We know, like, doing student ministry, youth ministry, it's about partnering with you guys. So we really want to protect you guys as a family. And just help come alongside you as well as your kid. Yeah.
And lastly, we just want to thank you guys for having grace with us during this season while we're all figuring out what's the safest, best options. We know that, like, even in our families and with all of your families, there's different opinions on how things should be happening, but we just want to say we really appreciate you guys and we love being part of the Ardent family with all of you parents. So
cool. All right, we love you guys. See ya.